It has been a while. I never thought I'd open this game again. But as you can see, I'm dedicating a whole video just for it. This could have been like an addition to what almost is like a series for this channel, which is the Exploring Dead TD Games videos. But I get asked about Anime Final Strike so often on stream that I thought I have to make a dedicated video just for it. What happened to this game? Why did it fall off? Because this game came out, I felt like out of nowhere. I had been told of this game before it came out. I actually had a proposition to be paid to make videos in this game, which I didn't take because when I kind of saw it, I was like, this game looks cheap. But I ended up making videos in the game for free. They didn't pay me. Since it was so popular and at the time, there wasn't much to do. It is worth mentioning. This game had a peak CCU of 24.2k, which you think, oh, Anime Vanguard's 300k, whatever. This is very high. If you compare it to a couple of other games that I play regularly on this channel, like Anime Guardians, their peak CCU is 18.4k. Anime Royale, which is making a comeback, hopefully, their peak CCU was only 11.7k, but I feel like way more people know of Anime Royale than Anime Final Strike. Anime World Tower Defense, peak CCU 19.5k. RIP, might as well also be shut down. Either way, as you can see, this game had motion. When it dropped, it was very, very popular, but why did it crash and burn? There's a lot of pointing the finger at Mr. Brandom the Boss, because yes, he bought this game. I don't recall exactly when, but he did buy this game. And you can see the effects because if you look at his battle pass here, where's the character? Is it only at the end? Where's his face? And the shiny version literally looks the same. Literally Anime Rangers X. Looking at the banner, I mean, the Jujutsu Kaisen characters, I doubt this game got hit by the MCA, by the way. But, you know, it had like 500 players. But we're, like, outside of these Jujutsu Kaisen characters, you look at, for example, like, look at these Berserk characters. Look, their pose is the same. They released these two characters on the same update, and they use the exact same, like, model format. It's so lazy. But here's the thing. I don't think it's fair to just point at Mr. Brandom and be like, it's your fault. Definitely didn't help the game that it got bought by the boss and slopified even more. But also, this game was already trending in a bad direction before he purchased the game. If you don't know, I guess this could become a video I make on games the boss killed video. But Brandon, Mr. The Boss, trademark, he buys dying games. That's his strategy. He bought ALS when it was dying. He bought Anime Rangers X when it was dying. He bought this game when it was dying. And he bought Anime Power Defense when it was dying. Also, there's another game that he owns, like Azur Lech, I think. I've never played. It's like a soccer game. I don't know about that one. That one I have no knowledge of. But of the games that I've played in this channel before, that's what he does. It's his strategy. And it worked out for ALS and Anime Rangers X. Anime Rangers X is a bit of a tough spot right now, but at the time, it worked out. But here's the thing. Can't forget about the fact this game was already dying before he got his hands on it. And why was that? So I want to talk about luck. There's a lot of luck involved when it comes to releasing these games. What was happening at the time that Anime Final Strike released in the first place? Because again, 24.2k CCU was basically at release, maybe like a week after release as the game picked up some steam. If I go here on my channel, it basically is like a catalog of what was happening at the time for the space. And this is a little bit before the game came out. As you can see, ALS had just released the Free and Godly. I think that was like an okay received update. All-Star Tower Defense X actually had just come out. So that was kind of like the game that was popping at the time. Anime Rangers X, this update was very, very poorly received. Again, ASCDX was slowly dropping their updates and slowly also being like kind of not received so well. ALS Berserk update wasn't the best received either, like it was pretty hit or miss. This update was not that well received. Again, the boss face syndrome. Look at the eyes and face, man. Can you zoom in on the eyes and face struggle? AV dropped the Attack on Titan update. Yeah, one of the worst received updates of all time. And that was the time when Anime Final Strike managed to get a space in because ALS was not getting too much motion. AV dropped an extremely poorly received update. ASCDX was kind of falling off, but still pretty like strong. So, oh, and ARX was as well was like pretty down for the time. As you can see, like, the videos around it. I had this video on AV, which popped off because it was a big topic. But the video I made finishing the AOT update on AV got less views than my anime Final Strike video. And I even made a cheeky thumbnail here, anime Last Vanguards, because as you might know if you've played this game is just the most like carbon copycat of other tower defenses ever. Like, there's basically nothing original about this game other than like this training feature, which sucks. You just put your characters in here and they get XP like slowly. But don't worry, there's a game pass that makes it better. This game is like ALS, but with a little bit of the AV UI. And that's kind of it. That's why this game was kind of popping, because it was very similar to ALS. And it even has like a 0.02% trait, kind of like ALS. Although different to ALS, not every character requires to have this trait because you can only have one per team. Regardless, it had this extra gambling feel to it as well. So people were giga AFKing this game because you could farm rerolls and trying to get the trait. So, you know, there's a lot of concurrent players there, and there wasn't much to farm on the other games. But then slowly but surely, the cracks began to form. Here's what they did. The first update was pretty well received, actually. It wasn't like an event, so it's not here anymore. If I pull up my video, it's this one. Hi, I'm Nag. Hi, I'm Nag. Oh, I had the statues in the background. People keep telling me they missed the statues. Unfortunately, I can't have that background right now. It's too much echo in my room. Maybe when I move again. But yeah, they had this Naruto event going on, which was actually, again, pretty well received for the time. But then, after this update, that's where stuff started getting weird. I think after what happened, I stopped making videos in the game. Yeah, that's what killed the game for me. And for a lot of people. They made the Naruto characters pretty strong. It did have like an ALS kind of power creep thing where the new characters were extremely broken. But then they did the unforgivable. They nerfed the characters in the next update. So you spent all that time getting Naruto, which at the time was the highest DPS character in the game. I even got Emperor on him, the 0.02% trait. And then as soon as the next update drops, they nerfed the character. And I'm pretty sure like every character of the Naruto update got nerfed. I could be wrong about that. But in any case, all the Naruto characters are very strong. And I think they did this to other characters as well. I'm just not aware of that. I just know of the Naruto characters because that's the update that I really played. And then again, I got Emperor on Naruto. So they went ahead and nerfed the character. Oh, he's too broken. Then don't release him. Nerfing characters. There's a reason why if you play like a gacha game, they can't just nerf characters without giving like some insane level of compensation. It kills games. When I played 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, as you might know, Nagato Grand Cross here, they had a situation where a character called Chandler was genuinely just too good. He was a normal banner character, not a festival. And his counters, he had like a counter mechanic. It's a turn-based game, so he had like a counter mechanic. His counters did like some crazy scaling. So they nerfed him. And they gave us the most insane compensation for it. Was it like 1,000 gems or something, or 600 gems? Like, people were still pissed. But when you see the compensation they gave, people are like, you know what? I guess I'll take the compensation. This shit's crazy. And there's other times when stuff like this happen. Of like games nerfing a character, especially if it's a PvP game. And then they're like, please guys, take this, okay? Don't be mad at me, please. First of all, minimum they do is like refund everything you've spent like in-game currency wise on that character. Like whatever materials you use on the character, you'd get it back. But for these Roblox games, there's no like regulation or anything. So they just do it. And then people get upset if they feel like it. And people did get upset. And again, it killed the game for me. I stopped making videos of the game, which, I mean, not to be too egotistical here, but videos like mine contribute a lot to these games' popularities, right? It does. So losing someone like me, which was the biggest YouTuber making videos in the game, definitely didn't help. And they kept doing this. They released, I think it was Benimaru as like a banner secret. Can I see it here? I don't think I can. But like he wasn't in banner for the first couple of hours of the update or something, so you physically couldn't pull him. Something like that. And then again, they made him like super OP. It might not have been Benimaru. Benimaru might have been like a portal secret. I don't know. It was like a secret character from the banner. Super OP on release. People get him. It's like, oh my god. It might have been Vosh actually. Oh my god, super OP, and then they instantly nerf him. After people spend their rerolls on the character, which they might have bought with Robux, they go and nerf him. Guys, what can I say? And the inherent flaw of this game being an ALS copy means that if ALS is not doing so well at the time, which it wasn't doing the hottest, like it really wasn't, then this game has a chance of having, you know, a gap in the market that you can go in, or enemy vanguards, whatever. The moment the games that, you know, this game is copying are in a good state, have had a good update, why would you play this game? This is like the copycat version. So the game kept losing players more and more because AV dropped banger updates. After the Attack on Titan update 7 happened. It was the summer update and it was very well received. ACX was dropping down, but we don't have to talk about that. Anime Last 10 had the Hunter x Hunter update, but then it had the Johnny one, which is okay. But mainly is Anime Vanguards. Anime Vanguards had a comeback, and it became a more free-to-play game. So if the excuse you had to play a game like Anime Final Strike was, oh, the game is more free-to-play, you don't have that excuse anymore. So, you know, let's be real, Anime Vanguards happened. That's what happened to that game. Anime Vanguards happened, people came back to Anime Vanguards. And then when the player count was pretty low, Brandon bought the game. And it hasn't done much to it because, I mean, I opened this game and it looks the exact same as when I stopped playing it. So, when was the last time this game even updated? I don't even know. The models look terrible. I assume the animations look terrible. If the Guts model looks like this, and models are cheap compared to animations. The game was already pretty sloppy, you know, since it was an ALS clone, but Brandon buying it meant it became even more slop. I haven't tracked too much of the recent times, but I wouldn't be, you know, surprised if the updates have been like okay event and like a couple of characters. And why would you do that? Why would you play an update like that when you can just play actual ALS, which is kind of back since AV is dead, or, you know, AV. So, you know, next time you open my stream and you're like, why haven't you made any videos on Anime Final Strike? What happened to that game? There you go. It was inevitable. The game was only as good as however low AV was at that time. Moment people, you know, didn't have to look for an alternative, it was over.